Minecraft has released a game drop. No, not that one. This one. The Copper Age. It gave us a lot of new copper block variants that we can play with. And also the shelf blocks. But now that we are at the Copper Age, I'm gonna be building a copper farm that will provide me with all of my copper needs. Keep watching for more. Hello everyone, my name is Shira and welcome back to another adventure in Minecraft. It's already December, so it's time for a change of clothes. Though I feel like this isn't the kind of outfit that fits in the Nether. Oh well. Anyway, last episode, I built 2 farms to get the materials for an end rod. And I'm currently in one of those farms, the Blaze farm. And since then, I made a few improvements. I added some fence gates here, where the purpose is to stop the lava that disables the farm from flowing to the bottom. That way, the lava down there will continue to push the blazes if there are some left down there. And because of that, I had to lower the platform here as well. And now the lava actually goes all the way to the wall over here. This actually helps since it now pushes the blazes all the way until they are hitting the wall, which guarantees them from getting caught by the minecart, as you can see here. So now the blaze farm is working much better. I also changed the dispensers over there by lowering it 1 block and adding shelves for decoration. That didn't really do anything, but that's a thing that changed in the farm as well. I've also connected the farm to my nether highway. And there are 2 highways that connect to this farm. This one over here, if we follow it, connects to my Wither skeleton farm. While this other one, which is actually quite a long highway, but if we follow this up until the end, we'll be able to see the portal to my end portal. Going to the blaze farm will now be much easier. Still quite a long way, but what can you do? Anyway, let's head back to base and discuss our plans for this episode. As I mentioned in my intro, this episode is all about copper, which fits since we're currently in the Copper Age drop. The update gave us a lot of additional copper, along with another previous update that also added a couple of things to the copper family, which was the Tricky Trials update. Anyway, the copper blocks have a lot of variants, and these are all of them, complete with each levels of oxidation. And with this much blocks to play with, you can make a lot of decent builds with just using copper alone. I've used a couple of them already in some of my builds, so I would really like to get a lot of them. Another new thing that was added are these copper golems. These are currently statues, but we can actually get one of these moving, which we can do by summoning them like so. It even makes a copper chest from that. These little guys are actually pretty useful since they can actually sort your items for you. But unfortunately, they can't really do anything because of how my storage system is set up. So for now, I'm just gonna let him walk around here. And since I haven't waxed him, he'll slowly oxidize like any other copper blocks and will eventually turn into a statue. Okay, next, in order to use copper, we need to get them. And there are a couple of ways to get copper. First of course is to just mine them. Copper is pretty easy to mine, and you'll see plenty of them anywhere underground whenever you go caving. And when you find yourself in a dripstone cave, you'll find even more copper. So as you can see, I started mining copper a little bit earlier, which took about an hour. And from that 1 hour of mining, I already got a shulker box full of copper ores. So now I just need to use my fortune pickaxe to get the raw ores, smelt them all up, and now I have all of this copper, and a few raw copper that I didn't smelt. Another way to get copper is to go and visit a trial chamber. As you can see, this entire place is mostly made out of copper. You can just easily set up a beacon nearby and mine all of the copper, and you'll probably set for a long time from just one of these chambers. But I've made a rule for myself that I will never destroy any naturally generated structures in my world unless I make a farm or build anything out of it. So this will never be an option for me. But for others, this is probably gonna be the fastest method of getting copper because of how many of them there are here. There are plenty of trial chambers that spawns in the world, so I can see why this is the preferred method. But yeah, because of my rules, this won't be an option for me. Then lastly, as with a lot of things in the game, we can make ourselves a copper farm. And that is actually gonna be the project for today. The drowned, which are the underwater zombies, can sometimes drop copper ingots when killed. Unfortunately, making a farm out of the drowned can be quite difficult. They can only spawn underwater in ocean and river biomes, as well as in a dripstone cave, believe it or not, though they still need to be underwater. And even if you manage to spawn proof everything except for the area where a drowned can spawn, the rate of their spawn is still very slow compared to regular mobs. The fastest biome they can spawn in is in a river biome, but even with that, the rates are still not that fast. There was actually a method that exists before that greatly improves farming the drowned, which makes use of the zombie reinforcement mechanic. The problem is, unfortunately, it was nerfed on one of the previous patches and it doesn't work anymore. There was an amazing design out there made by Nanbon and Cubic Meter that I was hopefully wanting to use in my world. And if you want to see them, I'll link their videos in the description. But because of the changes, it is not possible to do those farms anymore. So now, my only option left is to design my very own drowned farm. If you are enjoying the video, you can click on the like button down below. And if you want to see more, you can also subscribe to my channel as well. Okay, let's start on the project. First, I need to find a good spot to build the farm, which I've actually found one over here. It's located just a little bit east from where my spawn is. And this small lake here is actually a river biome, as you can see from the upper left corner in my screen. And the size of it is enough to build a decent enough drowned farm. And now that I have a location, time to design a drowned farm that works. I'm of course gonna do that in a separate creative world, so I'll be back once I'm done with that. And then I guess explain how the farm works afterwards. Guys, something just happened. It's been a few days already since the last clip because I got a little bit busy. And I was actually able to design a drowned farm that works very decently. I was actually gonna start building it here, but then I saw a video. I'm talking about this video by Raceworks that just released just a few minutes before I was about to build the farm. And in that video, he showed that drowned reinforcement still works in this version of the game. But of course, doing the old method doesn't exactly work anymore, since that old one makes use of the regular zombies getting turned into drowned. The one in the video directly reinforces the drowned themselves. To know more about this, you should definitely watch his video. The link is in the description. He can explain it a lot better than I will. Anyway, because of that, I'm now gonna make a drowned farm based on that video, with maybe just a few tweaks here and there to fit how I want it in my world. So, no time to waste, and let me get started on building that farm. And now I have a working drowned farm. This farm is actually pretty amazing. You can see inside here in the killing chamber how many drowns are already inside. And there are so many of them that some of them are already dying from entity cramming. Inside this huge rectangular box here is the spawning area of the drowned. I can show you what's inside, but it's pretty dark. But even with the darkness, you can already see all of the drowned spawning here. Any drowned that spawns inside here will immediately shoot to the top because of the bubble columns. And up here we have a very specific water flow to help with pushing all of the drowned to this hole over here. Where if you look inside, there's another bubble column that shoots them all the way up to the killing chamber. And now I can actually start killing them from here. But instead of using my regular sword here, I made a wooden sword right here that I can use for the farm. The reason why I'm using this is to make sure that the drowned die as slow as possible while taking as many damage as they can. That way, they can reinforce more drowns as I hit them. And that is why we have these two rectangular spawning boxes up here as well. Every time I hit the drowned, there's a chance for reinforcements to spawn inside. So the more drowned I hit every time, the higher the chances they can summon in reinforcements. So it will increase the spawns significantly. That's why it's better to use a weaker weapon to maximize the reinforcements. Some of the drops are grabbed by the drowned here, but they'll eventually get taken to the water stream that connects all the way to my storage system down below. I've actually been grinding here AFK while I was in the middle of work and editing this video. And from that, I've got this much amount of copper. I know, it's not exactly as much as I made when I mined out the copper. The drop rate of the copper from drowned isn't exactly 100%, but at the very least, I can now get copper even while I am AFK. Also, besides the copper, this farm also gives me Nautilus shells, which is a particularly rare item. And what you're seeing here is already a lot. And apart from that, I am also getting tridents. Look at all the tridents I've got from using this farm. I haven't gotten one of these bad boys yet, so this is actually pretty great. And that's pretty much it for my copper farm or drowned farm. Something I also did was, there is a village over there that I barricaded and lit up to keep all of the villagers safe. It's pretty near to the farm, and I wanted to keep them safe while I was working here. Also, I have this nether portal here, which is also now connected to my nether highway. And that's pretty much it. The copper farm is now complete. I'll get back to doing some work on the exterior of this place in the future since it's looking pretty ugly right now. But of course, that's going to be in the future. And speaking of exterior, I'm gonna be working on one of my builds again in the next episode. So tune in next time for more. Oh yeah, before I forget, I also wanted to show you this. This is the copper farm that I designed myself that I was supposed to build before I found the video of Raceworks. It has the same kind of spawning box here with soul sand on the bottom. All the drowned that spawns here shoot upwards to this water stream until they fall into this corridor over here. Then at the center here, I have a turtle egg which attracts all of the drowned and lure them to fall into the killing chamber. And then this drop off point is high enough so that all of the drowned are just one hit when they're in the killing chamber. And one swing is all you need to kill them. Then this one is just a duplicate of this one. So that's my design. It works decently enough, but without making use of the reinforcements, the rates has become significantly lower from an already low drop rate of copper. Hence why in the end, I decided not to build this. I'm still really proud that I was able to design this though, as this is the first time I actually did anything with the drowned. But anyway, if you enjoyed this episode and want to see more, click the like and subscribe button. I appreciate the support. We'll continue on our next adventure next time. I'll see you when I see you.